Britain's leading business organisation, the Confederation for British Industry, has articulated its vision for how Britain can reform its relationship with the European Union in a heavyweight report called Our Global Future, a Business Vision for a Reformed EU. John Cridland, Director General of the CBI, explains why the everyday man or woman in the street should read the report.
I think the British public want to know how we're going to maintain living standards and grow the economy and create more jobs and keep their children in work after the economic crisis which has left people unsure and chastened. The CBI report addresses that question. It tells them we have a bright economic future if we carry on doing in a new way what we've always been good at, selling our goods and services around the world. And we have a vision for doing that in emerging markets, but based on a vision of a membership of the European Union, which we see as a strength for our global trading role.
John Cridland also said British businesses want Britain's membership of the European Union to continue, but want it to be reformed with the completion of the single market. This is a clear finding of the CBI's report.
What they nearly always say to me is we have to be in the EU, but the EU must reform, and the two go together. So they want to know, can CBI help to reform the EU so we can be even more enthusiastic about our membership of it? What do they want? They want the completion of the single market, particularly in services and the new internet economy. They want more European free trade deals with the parts of the world that they're going to, but particularly as small businesses, they don't want to have to deal with tariff barriers and customs practices. They want open trade, and they want less intervention by the European Union in things that we don't think Brussels should get involved in. Lifestyle regulation, lots and lots of employment regulation that actually they see as a cost, not as a benefit.
British politicians must build alliances with European partners in order to reform the European Union successfully, says Cridland, as taking a confrontational approach will not work and could leave the UK isolated.
We need to build alliances. That's critical. We do have influence in Europe, but we need to have even more influence in Europe. The answer is not to go to Brussels, Berlin and Paris and tell them we want our powers back. The answer is to go to Brussels, Berlin and Paris and say what's good for your businesses is good for our businesses, is good for your workers, is good for our workers. And together, let's find solutions that boost Europe's competitiveness, remembering we're all trying to do the same thing. We're all trying to grow successfully in an increasingly small and interrelated global economy.
John Cridland says the stakes in Britain's referendum vote are stark for British business and offer the route of prosperity or survival.
I think Britain faces a choice. Do we want to be in and influential, or out and have no influence? In a small world, much more interconnected than it's ever been before, individual countries can't solve the big problems of the day, living standards, climate change, except by working together. So we could survive outside the European Union, but our voice would be smaller and our wallets would be thinner.